Feels really weird to be putting miso into my cookies. ChatGPT, what are you doing? There's so many ways that people are using AI right now, and I thought the best way for us to test it out would be to have AI create recipes. For those of you that are unfamiliar, ChatGPT is an AI model where you can have these conversations with this artificial intelligence and they can answer questions for you, all the way from just answering simple questions to creating full-on essays on whatever topic that you see fit, which is a whole separate thing than what we are going to be doing today. Because last night with my sister, I decided to go onto ChatGPT and ask it some questions. Who is Rach Loves? Oh, friendly and relatable. That's so nice. Rach Loves husband. Let's see if they've changed it.
Oh, Sean Cooper? That's fun.
They changed it again. Christopher, your new name is Sean. Last time it was Gabe. Married since 2010, also inaccurate. 2 children. Oh, and you have a YouTube channel. Personal finance and investing.
Follow Sean on YouTube, like and subscribe.
Okay, let's see.
Do me.
Who is Rach Loves' sister? Has not mentioned. Oh, I have mentioned having a brother named Mike though. So I don't have any sister. There's like so many of them.
Well, there's like 4 of us too. Like it's not even just me.
I have in passing mentioned my brother Mike though. I don't know if you know, but apparently ChatGPT does. This bodes well when I ask it to write me a recipe. And I thought the best and only fitting recipe to test out first from AI has to be chocolate chip cookies. And so I asked AI to create for me the world's greatest chocolate chip cookie recipe. Okay, this seems like a very standard cookie recipe.
That's gonna make a lot of cookies.
Can you make it more fancy?
Ooh, okay. Chris has so many suggestions here. Okay, all right, okay. Certainly. Here's a fancier version of the world's best ever chocolate chip cookie recipe.
Well, you put more butter in.
More butter, more
brown sugar.
more eggs.
Oh, yeah. High quality semi-sweet chocolate chips. Toasted pecans,
To-
toffee
oh.
bits, and dried cherries.
Dried cherries and toffee bits and pecans is what they're suggesting.
Did you say pecans?
I did say pecans. Do you not?
I said pecans.
Christopher, do you say pecans or pecans?
Pecans.
Pecans.
Tell it you can't eat pecans.
Make this version without nuts.
You're so rude to ChatGPT. I'm always very polite. I always say please and things.
That's
I
probably
don't
why
know
it
why.
gives you such success and name changes.
That's fair. I should be a lot nicer. Really, the only difference is they added more butter, sugar, eggs, and flour.
What about like a gourmet professional baker version?
Can you please make a gourmet best ever? Give me the best.
The poor thing just like scours the internet and everything's called like the best ever chocolate chip cookie. Anytime you're using unsalted butter, you lost me.
Really?
I don't want to have to buy special butter.
Oh, you have to get unsalted when you're making cookies.
I
because
never
then
do. I
you add
never
salt?
do. Yeah.
Then you're adding too much salt.
You have eaten my cookies and loved them.
It's true. She makes really good chocolate chip cookies. Okay, they mixed it up. They made them sour cherries this time. Flaky sea salt on top. Okay, cake flour, fewer eggs than the fancier version.
Okay.
And the same amount of sugar and butter
As the normal
than
version.
the normal version. Interesting. Okay. Well, I feel like we have a lot of interesting options here.
What about an ingredient that people don't normally put into cookies, but they should?
Tahini? You want me to put tahini in my cookies?
That's interesting.
Huh. And miso paste. Wow. Okay. Subtle umami flavors balance the sweetness of cookie. Christopher's on board. I don't know if you're nosing him over there, but he's jazzed about this.
Like, to your point, these probably won't be my favorite cookie ever, but like, these are well thought out, interesting ideas.
interesting.
Guess we have some work to do. Off to go buy sour cherries and tahini. So I decided as a starter, we're gonna do 3 different tests here. And so seeing as I am a cookie monster, I feel like I'm well suited to test whether these cookies are actually worth making. And if you wanna see more of these ChatGPT creates a recipe, let me know, because I think this could be a really fun series. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so we know that we want to do more of these in the future. Oh, I have so many ideas for it. It could be so great. Okay, so we're gonna start with the classic, because I feel like we need a good baseline. Like, does AI know how to make a good chocolate chip cookie? And for that, we're gonna need Francesca. If you're new here and you don't know, I name all my appliances for no reason at all other than I get to yell at it when I do something wrong. And it's just really satisfying to yell Franny at a stand mixer. So we're gonna start with doing what I would normally do for a cookie recipe, which is to beat together the brown sugar and white sugar and butter. So we have a cup of butter and then 1 cup each of brown sugar and white sugar. Then we're gonna cream it together until it's light and fluffy. That is sort of what we're looking at. You can kind of see here too, this is where we started in terms of color, and this is where we're at now. It's nice and light and fluffy. Now we're gonna add 2 eggs, 1 egg at a time, and mixing well. This is not something that I do in my cookie making, though apparently this is something that Chris does. Just unaware. 1 in, and 2. And hand washing. Okay, now we're gonna add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla, mix that all up, and at the same time, I'm going to also mix together the dry ingredients, which is pretty simple. We have some flour, which I sifted already. You didn't need to see that mess. I don't sift anything without getting the entire kitchen covered in flour. It was a nightmare. Now to this flour, all we're gonna do is we're gonna add in a teaspoon of salt and then a teaspoon of baking powder, not powder, soda. They don't have baking powder in here. That was confusing. Let's start that again. What I'm gonna be adding to this flour is a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking soda. I found this interesting because the other recipes that I saw, they had baking powder and soda. This one, just soda. And whisking it all together. And then we're gonna dump it all into here. Did I just lock it? I did. Professional here. Now in the recipe, they also said, you know, just to stir until combined, which I think is important. It's recognizing that, you know, you don't want to over mix your cookie batter once you put the flour in. So now I'm gonna go like this. It feels like I'm trying to hide it. Where is she? So the flour doesn't fly up all over everything. That's pretty good. Then we're gonna add in 2 cups of chocolate chips. Then I'm gonna do the trick that I learned from the Magnolia cookbook. And basically you just whisk it on high for like 2-3 seconds max, and it's gonna like mix in all the chocolate chips a lot faster without over mixing, you know, the dough. Look at that, perfectly combined. Now what ChatGPT has failed to do is that typically what I like to do with my cookie recipe is I like to stick it in the fridge to kind of come together, just really form a unit as a cookie. And they didn't make any mention of that at all, which I'm a little disappointed by. But I'm gonna do that anyway because I wanna bake all of the cookies at once. So I'm gonna roll this, stick it in the fridge, and we're gonna go on the next one. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna take out half of the recipe because then we need to add some stuff to this. Because half of this dough, we're gonna set aside and we're gonna let it cool and do its thing. The other half, we're actually gonna split again. So if you're counting, we're into quarters now, between 2 different ingredients. I thought that Chris's question about the most unique thing you can add to a cookie that would taste really good was a really cool question. Good job, Christopher. I liked your question. But now we're actually gonna put it into action because I'm going to take a quarter and put tahini in, and then a quarter and put miso paste in. That way I have sort of the base that we can kind of compare it to and just see what kind of flavor profile it kind of brings to the cookie. I'm kind of excited. If it wasn't already obvious, I have put neither in cookies before, so this is gonna be fun. Christopher, do you have any thoughts as to which one you're gonna like better, the tahini or the miso?
I'm most interested in the tahini. I think that would work well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can see that being really good.
I don't know what camp I'm in yet. I like both as an ingredient. I don't know how I feel about them in cookies. So ChatGPT said to put in a couple of tablespoons of tahini into your dough. I would assume that's based off of their standard recipe. So I'm going to quarter that amount, which is a couple or a few. That's probably 2, so that's 6 teaspoons. So 2 teaspoons? What do you think, Chris? If they said a few tablespoons in a full cookie dough, and this is a quarter.
1.
Okay, all right. And then for the miso paste, they said a small amount of miso. That's a very unclear measurement. So I looked online to see if I could find some sort of a baseline in terms of how much people are putting in their cookies. There are some recipes out there. It was pretty cool. There was everything from a tablespoon to a quarter cup. So I don't know, maybe we do a tablespoon in each?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. I could do like a little, like 3/4 or half a tablespoon.
3/4 tablespoon in each sounds fine.
Okay, let's do that. So here's the tahini paste. Thought it would have a more pronounced smell. I don't know what I was expecting, but something stronger. So I'm gonna put about that much into the cookies. Feels really weird to be throwing some tahini into my cooking batter. I hope these are good. And then we have the miso. It feels really weird to be putting miso into my cookies. And the amounts, I don't know. ChatGPT, what are you doing? Okay, I don't know, man. I don't feel good about adding in a lot of this. It just feels weird. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do half a tablespoon. Yeah, that feels better. Okay, get that in there. It's just such a strong smell to it, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. We're gonna start with that. I don't want to mix it more than that, and I'm just gonna mix this one by hand because I'm lazy. Then we're gonna stick these all in the fridge and go on to the gourmet version. ChatGPT did a couple of different versions. They did a fancy and a gourmet. I don't know how it defines either of those things, but I wanted to do the gourmet because they had the inclusion of the cake flour, which I thought was interesting, and then a bunch of interesting add-ins like the cherries. ChatGPT was very into cherries in cookies. Never even crossed my mind. Wouldn't have even gone there. We're starting again pretty standard, traditional, a cup of butter. That was a very satisfying thud. And a cup each of brown sugar and white sugar. Then we will beat it together until it is light and fluffy. Think light, think fluffy. This is why you cut up your butter first, Rachel. Get in there. All right, there we go. Now she's coming together. She's working so hard. Look at my hand. It's like shaking. Go, Fran, go, Fran. So again, light and fluffy. Now we are going to add in 1 egg at a time. 2 total eggs. We're adding in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And this is where ChatGPT goes rogue. Now enters in the cake flour and also all-purpose flour mix. So in this we have 1 cup of cake flour and 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then a teaspoon each of baking soda, baking powder, and salt. Whisk it together. Leave me a comment down below which one you think is going to be the best out of all of these different recipes. Don't cheat. Don't wait and go into the end. Now we are going to dump all of this in as before. We're going to give Francesca some privacy. Whoa, I got too excited and it, even with the towel, exploded. Good, 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 cool. It's fine. Okay, it wasn't that much. Hence the importance of the towel. Okay, that looks good. Now, I don't know if you remember, but in the first recipe that ChatGPT gave to me, it was 2 cups total of chocolate chips. So in this version, the recipe calls for 3 cups of high quality dark chocolate chips, okay? Counting, 3 cups. Then half a cup of chopped dark chocolate and half a cup of sour dried cherries. Now I thought this was gonna be really difficult to find. I honestly had never tried to find those before, but it wasn't too bad. It was actually more difficult to find the miso paste for me. Never have I ever put dried sour cherries in my cookies. Okay, I trust you. Okay, now we're gonna do a quick mix, kind of get everything amalgamated. Oh, beautiful. Works every time, every time. And again, we're gonna go and put this into the fridge and we're gonna let it sit so that everything has about at least an hour to kind of chill. I was gonna say cook, but you know what I mean. Come together. It's a family. It's a unit of cookie dough. See you in an hour. All right, back with dough. I just want to show you before I put them in the oven what they look like. So we have Miso Gourmet, traditional, tahini. I'm gonna label these just so you know. I'm not gonna get them confused. Even the consistency of the dough between the gourmet and the traditional is a little bit different. Similar but not the same. And then the tahini and the miso ones are a lot darker. Obviously there's like a little bit of something added, but it really did change the color a lot. So anyway, now I'm gonna go and stick them in the oven at 375, by the way, which I don't think I've ever put cookies in at 375. Typically for me, I'll do like 325 or 350, but this feels very hot. If you say so. Traditional and tahini, miso and gourmet. I'm literally taking a picture of them right now because otherwise I will forget. Goodbye, cookies. These just came out of the oven. Look how good those look. I'm gonna sprinkle some sea salt on them. Now we just let them cool. I'm so excited. I'm not gonna lie, I've just been sitting here staring at them, waiting for them to cool, but I think they're good now. Christopher, do you wanna try some cookies with me?
How do they smell?
They smell really good. I forget that you can't smell anything.
Not from over there. I'm getting the heat off of the cookies, but I don't know if I can smell. I can't tell the difference.
Nothing?
I can taste them.
You can taste them. So,
These look really good.
they look so pretty. I will say
Very different. Those have a lot of chocolate.
that's the gourmet ones.
Okay. What are these? These look...
Miso.
Okay. They're much more browned
Yeah.
and even.
These just look perfect.
Yeah.
They look like perfect little cookies.
Okay, which is the best looking cookie? What is the platonic ideal of a cookie?
I'd say it's a toss-up between these two. Kind of depends on who you're like, but also this one is also very beautiful in its own way.
It's subjective, yeah.
Who am I to judge? I don't know.
I think that's the one I want to eat most, but that's the best looking cookie.
Oh, you picked a different one than me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I could hear an argument for that one too.
I was just looking for the roundest.
No, that's fair.
First of all, we have to start with, this is the classic that they deem to be the best ever cookie. Yeah, we have to start with that one. That's the base.
They being the collected wisdom of the entire internet.
They being ChatGPT. Okay, ready? I mean,
okay.
No one's mad at that. You're mad at it. You don't like a soft, do you like a chewy cookie?
I thought that looked a little bit dry, little bit cakey. No? Relative to your normal ones?
I don't know, they still look kind of not gooey in the middle, but I don't like really underdone cookies. There are some people who want a gooey cookie. I don't like a gooey cookie. The chocolate pull is good.
Good solid cookie. I think it's a bit dry. No?
I like a fluffier cookie. I don't like when it's like really flat and like chewy. This to me I like because it's still soft on the middle, but it's crispy on the outside. But I mean, like, that's something that's easily fixed by not cooking it as long.
Yeah, fair. But then you don't get the caramelization. Is it the best cookie ever? You don't need to consider this.
I'm trying to figure out what, adding brown butter, adding different types of chocolate into a cookie is going to make it better. So
rolling brownie into it.
I'm so mad about that. Why would you remind me? I want to make those so bad. They were so much work.
Yeah.
But unbelievable. I was
really
like,
good cookies.
I was savoring it till the end. I'm really sour that we don't have them now. Thanks for reminding me. A solid choice for a cookie though. I am not mad at this cookie. It does not taste like crystallized sugar. It doesn't taste overly sweet. There's a good balance to me.
7.2.
All right. Okay. Okay.
That's an above average cookie.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't get an A.
I'd go closer to 8 myself personally. Do we go gourmet or should we try one of the interesting add-ins?
Just in case they have like a weird aftertaste or something, let's go to gourmet.
You want to go gourmet next? Yeah. Okay. Let's eat the one that you like the best then.
Yes, please.
Not a lot of pull, but like again, it's not a cheese pizza, so I don't know what I was expecting. Now I can already see the chunks of cherry and everything. This is a very loaded chocolate cookie.
There's a lot going on in
here.
There's
a lot happening.
I'll admit a bias here. I love a chocolate chunk versus a chocolate chip. Big fan.
Yeah, that does make a big difference. All right, well. It is so interesting to me how that is so much different than the other one.
Mm-hmm. Completely. I didn't get a cherry in the first bite, but in the second I did. I think I like that. It's just a hint of tartness. It was not very sour. Mm-hmm. It just broke up the blasted sweetness.
That's so interesting.
I like that.
I'm honestly not mad at this. I was worried it was gonna get a little too fruitcake.
Not at all.
And it's not. It's not even like you're biting into like a chunk of dried apricot or something. Like it's not
like that. Texturally, there's no cherry there. It's just a little bit of counterbalance.
A hint of sour makes it sound so bad, but
good flavor.
That's a really nice cookie.
I, again, would like it a little bit softer. So maybe just undercooked a bit. That is a bit dry as well. I don't know if that's what, there was cake flour in there, right?
There was, yeah. I would undercook those ones. I agree. I think that one required a little less time in the oven, and I think it would be fantastic. I think it's just a little too crispy. I agree with you.
Or weren't these cooked at a higher temperature than you normally do?
Yeah, but that's what it told me to.
I know, and I'm saying that might be the issue with the dryness.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I could just notch it down a little bit.
I think 350 is the number for cookies. I don't know
where they're
375 comes from.
Yeah. I think they were just trying to get the golden and the crispy, but still gooey in the middle. I think that's why they were probably going with it. Honestly, I think next time I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna keep it at the 375, but I'm gonna do less time and see what that nets me. Because then I get the crispiness, but then it's gonna be goo in the middle.
That's what Skynet wants you to do.
Don't say Skynet. Okay, that was very good. Also, all of the chocolate chips are dark, which I actually really liked. I don't like milk chocolate chips in my cookies.
No, not milk chocolate.
Semi-sweet
is the standard and it's good, but I like, ideally I like a mix of both. That's my preferred.
See, I thought I did too. I would do these and I would add milk chocolate and just go real skew it, or I go all dark because the all dark's honestly, it's really nice.
good,
I'm trying
yeah.
to find the cookie still. Is it this one? I think it's this one. That's a very nice cookie.
Yep, really good.
Who knew? Who knew cherries?
Best cookie ever.
Best of the unique cookies that I've tried. I'm trying to think
The
of
brownie cookie wasn't unique.
Okay, that was the best cookie I've ever had.
10.00, right?
Yeah.
So what's this?
It's hard to say because it was overcooked.
Sure.
And also expectation versus reality. If I had low expectations and then it was like, then I tend to rate things a little higher. In terms of the sour cherry and the dark chocolate, I would give it an 8.5.
Well, I'm at 8.7.
Ooh, you went really high.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
agree.
just it's a really good cookie.
Yeah.
Very good. Now we got the alternative. So you want to start with the miso?
Sure.
Trying to see if I can smell anything. Oh, I can. It just hit me.
That's the best texture of the three so far.
Yeah, it's still got the goo. It's a little
bit
gooey.
softer. I don't know, to be honest, if I'm picking up any flavor.
It's very subtle. If I didn't know it was in there, I'd be like, what is that? Because it has like a bit, it's so subtle. So like a mildly more, I'm trying to think, like salty smell, but the taste, I mean, it gets so overpowered by the chocolate.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm finding.
not as pronounced as I was kind of worried it was going to be.
It's a very good cookie. And I like the texture. I don't know if the miso does something to moisten it or something. Could be.
Yeah.
Without changing the flavor much.
That's a good cookie. It's a good
Really
cookie.
good.
All right. Tahini.
Oh, wait.
Oh, okay. I'd rank that at a 7.
Okay.
7-1. What about you?
7.6. Texture is better.
Better than
The traditional.
the traditional. Okay. All right. Okay. This one. First, we must break them. They're heavy.
Yeah, these are thick cookies.
I like it. There you go.
I think I can smell sesame. Like, I can really smell sesame oil.
Is that your-
It's selective. I don't know.
This is your superpower. This is the one thing. All right. Let's try it.
Oh, it's right at the end.
I don't taste it.
I just got a hit of it just at the end. Maybe I got a little pocket or something, but
I don't taste it at all.
I didn't really get it on the second bite. But I definitely tasted it on the first bite.
So this one I mixed by hand. So
Okay.
maybe I just didn't mix it
Maybe
well
just
enough,
some
and it's
pockets
more
or something?
ribbony
Yeah.
or something. While I try and find some. How is it?
It works really well with the cookie. That is a really interesting flavor. Yeah, doesn't fight it at all. Really mixes well. That's a really good flavor. You better eat the whole thing just to find it.
Maybe this is the thing that I can't taste or smell that you can.
Yeah,
I gave away some of my ability to you. You're welcome.
One small segment of the taste palette.
Just sesame.
That's really good. That's a flat 8.0.
That's the best one of all the cookies.
Oh, I thought I gave the...
Oh no, 8.7. 8.7. I don't taste it at all. You take a bite.
Oh,
I'm getting so full of cookie.
I don't believe you. Yes, right there at the end. I was about to say no, and then it's like an aftertaste. I don't know what to tell you. It's there. I'm not making it up.
Listen, I believe you. I'll put a note down below if I end up, because obviously we're gonna eat more of these. If I do taste it, I'm gonna let you know. I don't understand.
These are good cookies out of them.
They're all really good cookies. You know what? ChatGPT, they did make a good cookie.
I
Is it
mean-
the best cookie? No.
They sourced it from somewhere. I would like to know. Let's not get into all of the issues with AI. But someone had the idea to put tart sour cherries into a cookie. I would like to know who that was, and there's no way to credit it. That's annoying. But put tart sour cherries into your gourmet cookies. That's delicious.
Yeah.
And tahini works really well.
Apparently also they put hazelnuts in the gourmet one, but we can't. As someone who doesn't eat nuts, I was gonna say, I don't think it needs it.
I don't think I would like that.
I don't know much about them, so I don't know. But like, just in case you're interested.
I just don't want like a crunch right in the middle of my cookie, really. But
That's fair. You know what? I'm gonna have the kids taste test. I don't think they'll be able to tell the miso or the tahini,
I think so, no.
but I'm curious if they like the gourmet or the traditional better. I'll let you know in the comments, but this is very fun. Thank you for taste testing.
Thank you for making cookies. That was delicious.
I'm really upset that I can't taste the tahini in this, but this was very fun. I feel like we should make this a series. And if you are also interested in the series, make sure you subscribe. New videos here every single Saturday, and let me know what recipes we should ask for next. I hope you guys are having a fantastic, fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys all next week. Now to wash all the chocolate off of my hands.
Such a cookie monster.